God bless you, Dr. Maria Seaman here. Enjoy the sermon entitled, When Glory Arrives.
Dr. Maria will be preaching the gospel.
The book of St. Luke, chapter 2, verse 9, here beginneth the reading of God's holy word. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of God, the glory of the Lord, shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. The word of the Lord for the people of God. You can take your seat. So on this Christmas Sunday, 2018, in this Christmas season, I want to minister from the sermon topic, When Glory Arrives. See, I've been basking in this read. Oh, when glory arrives. I begin. Hebrews 10 and 25, it reads, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. For 52 Sundays, including today, you have gathered here at this place called Shekinah Worship Center. This is right. Yet more than all gathering in a common place, I must consider how many have gathered in this common place with a common determination and purpose. How many have entered into this place and determined that each and every time they have an opportunity to meet as one in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, that your primary purpose is to love God and worship God in spirit and in truth. Whew. You see, the enemy does not mind us being together. What is a threat to the kingdom of Satan is when the kingdom of heaven, the people of God, have the mindset of unity. They gather in this most holy place. See, maybe I need to say something right there. Some of you may just see it as a place, an address. Oh, we got to turn it. You got to turn it around. That I don't care if we had a breakfast, a brunch, praise team rehearsal, teaching, that when we gather together in this place, we have entered into a holy place. See, you're not going to tell me that you will go to Buckingham Palace just any old way. You know, I mean, you can go to McDonald's a certain way. I wear my flip-flops. I can flip them in and flop them out. I can do that. However, give me a good restaurant in Bermuda, 5-star. Who? However, you ain't going to Ascot's in flip-flops. And we just got invited in there recently, so okay, go over somebody's head. So what am I saying right here? Depending on how you consider the place, you come dressed in whatever way you consider that place. Your heart set. Let me tell you something. I've gone through too much since age 5. Seen too much since age 5. I ain't even talking about, I'm talking about before my mama got saved. I can think of things. Not to understand that when I enter into God's house, God, you are meeting me, right? You're meeting me before I get into that door. And when I walk in, any ailment, anything that I'm experiencing, God, you are God. I'm going to be me. I'm going to dress me up. But when I step in the house, in the holy place, in the healing place. What? When I step in this place, God, you be God in my life. I'm trying to tell you something, that there are many people up and down the island of Bermuda. There are many people all over the world, and they've walked into the house of God. But there are many people who have walked into the house of God and haven't taken up the authority, haven't taken up the fact that I am more than a conqueror, haven't taken up that I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. It's a difference. It's a difference. I come battle ready. I don't care what's happened when I've been home. I couldn't even tell you these stories. No. Because listen. The earthen stories, I hear you, Holy Ghost. The earthen stories that I could tell, that you can tell, they cannot stand in the presence of God. They've got to succumb. They've got to come under. That the presence and the Spirit of God takes authority. The church becomes the church. That's when the sinner man, the sinner woman, will come into this place and say, I got to bow. Something going on around here. But if there be sick and weakness among you, we got to go around healing the church again. Come on now. So it's no danger to the enemy's kingdom when we all get together. Ain't no danger. However, if we get together, same heart, same mind, same authority, same strength, same tenacity, then the enemy kingdom has to back up. See, we unite. Let me continue here. We unite to experience who God is. If I wanted to come and have an experience with you, I could have made a lunch date. Come on now. But I've come to experience who God is, to unite to experience God's manifest presence. Show up. Mm-hmm. We unite to experience miracles, signs, and wonders. See, we like saying that. Miracles, signs, and wonders. The first, come on. Can I, here, catch this, catch. The first sign is you. The first miracle is you. The first wonder is you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Church, this is no ordinary place. It is the place where the very presence of God dwells. If we are here, and if we are here in Jesus' name, and if we are here to worship His majesty, we don't know about His majesty. I watch these old shows. Majesty is the king. Anything the king wants, the people got to do. The authority is right there. We have come to worship His majesty. In other words, you've come to submit to an authority that's higher than you, that can do what you cannot do. Well, that's all right. I don't mind submitting to God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The essence of God we experience in the presence of God. Moses experienced His presence. Exodus 33:18. I'm going to read a little bit here through 23. Because we're talking about when glory arrives, right? What happens when glory came? It reads, and he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. And he said, this is God talking to him, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. And he said, thou canst not see my face. I can preach on that. For there shall no man see me and live. Listen, I will say something here. No man can see the face of God and live because you're not in your glorified body. You can't see glory right now. You'll melt away. You can't have this earthen suit, this suit of humanity cannot handle the weight of glory. 21, it says, and the Lord said, all right, I got you. Behold, there is a place by me, Lord have mercy, and thou shalt stand upon a rock, and it shall come to pass, while my glory passes by, that I will put thee in the cleft of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. Oh, shh. In other words, I'm going to give you enough of a taste of my glory and still have you live. I'm going to show you my backside, and I'm going to cover you. I'm going to hide, and I'm going to put you in the rock. 3 things. I'm going to show you the backside of who I am, not front. I'm going to tuck you in the rock, and then I'm going to cover you. Come on. This is how... Talking about the glory today, you know, this thing's had me all week. I've been waiting. That this glory of God is so powerful. 23, it says, and I will take mine hand away, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please hear my heart's cry. I'm desperately waiting to be where you are. Across the hottest desert, I'll travel near or far. Here it is, watch this. For your glory. What? I will do anything just to see you. What? To behold you as my King. For your glory. For your glory. I will do anything just to see you, to behold you as my King. I want to be where you are. Yes. That's right. I want to be where you are. Yes, I got to be. Gotta be oh, Lord Jesus. It's a different place, y'all. So listen to this, church. When the glory of God arrives, you can never be the same. And church, when glory was experienced under the old covenant, Moses, there was change indeed. However, glory experienced under the new covenant, this is a supernatural change that impacted not just one man at a particular time, but all of humanity. May I help you out? Jesus didn't come to the earth for one person. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you. So let's examine the text today. See what happens when glory arrives. So we've got to make sure we get it right. Going into 2019. Not when you arrive, when glory arrives. We're going to look at the following 3 points. Point number 1, how glory arrives. How glory arrives. Point number 2, after glory arrives. After glory arrives. And then point number 3, because glory arrived. Because glory arrived. So let's go to point number 1 and take a look at this. How glory arrives. And I want to read 8 through 12. Okay, how glory arrives. 8. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the flock, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. Repeating verse 9 for emphasis. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were so afraid. So let's deal with the word glory. Glory comes from the Greek word doxa, doxa. Meaning, watch this, what arrived? The opinion of God. Glory shone round about them. What shone round about them? The opinion, judgment, splendor, view, brightness, a being belonging to God, a most glorious condition, most exalted state. I'm happy right there. I could go home right there. That's what showed up. Glory shone all around, and all this showed up, the judgment, the view, the brightness, the splendor. See, if we can appreciate this arrival, how are we going to handle the rapture? There's a greater splendor coming. Huh? There's a greater view coming. There's a greater judgment coming. Now listen. Church, between the Old Testament and the New Testament, there were 400 years of silence. There were no prophetic utterances. There were no, what they call them? Prophecy conferences, prophetic conferences. Was zero. Nothing. Nobody was speaking to the people. The mind and the heart of God was not heard for 400 years between the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. Shh. Huh? So now we have it that the glory of God arrives. And God speaks his judgment, his opinion. Wait a minute now. Let me make sure you get it. There is silence. Not a prayer heard about God, from God. God ain't sending no Elijahs and all this type. Nah, silence. A place without God's presence is the darkest place. The darkest place. And God, listen, I'm going to say it like this. God didn't have that it was 50 years of silence. 400 years. In other words, there is complete silence. There is a completion of darkness. And after the completion of darkness, what shows up? Glory. No wonder they were afraid. In their lifetime, they had never seen such brightness. Come on now. And they hadn't heard about the brightness of God from their parent, from their grandparent. Lord, this sounds like Bermuda. People are not hearing, but I got some news, Shekinah, that the glory has arrived. That the glory of God, the glory of heaven, the splendor of heaven, the opinion of heaven, the judgment of heaven, who God is, has arrived. How do they break from the chains of sin and shame, from alcohol, from drugs, from those things that are tearing them, from those dark things? They got to know about the glory. So we have to know. We're first. Church, we cannot treat the presence of God in any old way. Like it's like your girlfriend or your boyfriend. The presence of God. This is not casual. No. The glory of God mandates that there be a change when glory shows up. A change when glory shows up. Okay, so let's understand, since Holy Ghost just showed me this image. Is there not a change when the bride shows up? Huh? All the attention, all rise. That's the glory of a bride. And it's probably borrowed glory, weaved in glory, all types of glory. Huh? A shadow of glory. But deacon, I'm talking about when the glory arrives. Huh? That the shift that should happen in the atmosphere, the change that should take. Don't let the world water down the glory. Don't buy into that mindset. You still go to church? You still think God's coming back? Oh, yes, he is. He came back after 400 years of darkness, of silence, of sin, of anguish, of bitterness and pain. In a dark place, he's bound to show up. God will show up again. I'll help you out in a minute. In verse 9, we understand that the glory caused there to be a fear, right? A fear. If people never been to a Pentecostal church, they first come here, they're going to be afraid. You could try to tell them you're nice and everything. They see stuff going on, it's scary. Strange stuff. Why you got to raise your volume of your voice? Why people got to be jumping up? Can't he lead just from the pulpit? Is there something wrong with the pulpit? It's got to go down the aisle. What is this? Soul train in the house? What? But I'm telling you something. I'm going to tell you this. That when you worship, lead, when you sing, when you play, there ought to be a shift. No way that anything that you've done during the week should compare to your glory moment. God, I'm going to let my light shine. God, I'm going to be a reflection of you. God, I'm going to be a reflection of your glory. God, I am a reflection of the glory of God. There's something different. So anyway, look. Glory showed up, caused there to be a fear. There is a human fear that shows up in the heart of people. Yet, always follow it through. We don't follow through. Yet, this human moment is converted to a divine moment with the words in that same verse, fear not. Fear not. Doubt not. Be not weak. Be not weary. Come on now. Be strengthened. Be encouraged. Be full of joy. Huh? Joy comes in the morning. Huh? I know what you've been going through, but I guarantee you this. If you allow the glory to show up in your story, how you come, I said you're coming through. When glory arrives, fear must vanish. When glory arrives, human fear must abate, take a back seat, behave itself, go away. My God, let me okay, I have to always share with you the pictures. He just took me, Holy Spirit just took me into this operation room, surgery room, right? One of the things they do, they talk nice to you in there. Come. They talk nice. You know, and I had a long conversation once they started with me, you know, and even after the shot, just talking to you, you're all right there, and then you wake up. But here's my point. It is up to them. They are the administrators of that room. That there must be a certain, come on up in here, church. There must be a certain atmosphere. You can't go under in panic. You can't go under with apprehension, with fear. Am I coming back up with you? You go right back to your rooms. Let's reschedule this thing. No, they talk to you. They always get your mind, me to get into about church or the TV or something. You start rattling off, right? I know when I went out, what sentence I was in. Then they talk about count. Count what? 10, 9, 8. You wake up. Well, what number did you finish at? You didn't even know. What am I saying? That is the operating room of humanity. And even in humanity, they know we've got to make sure that fear is not on your resume, because you're about to go through something that's going to transform your body, and you need time to heal. And if you operate in fear, then healing will be delayed or denied. Come on, Osha. How much more in the presence of glory? What? in the presence of glory. Everything available because of the glory. That's why he says quickly, fear not. See, thank you, Holy Ghost. Because watch, this is the thought he just gave me. I'm just saying what he says. He says they've had 400 years of silence. So when the glory shows up, Sister Lawrence, if they stay in human fear, the darkness is going to continue. Because the mindset will be there. So watch this now, as soon as humanity tries to take over that situation, tries to mandate that situation, the angel comes, bam, fear not. I cancel out the negativity. I cancel out what you have been experiencing. I cancel out every negative thing that you've had to experience all this time. Why? Because the glory of God has arrived. And listen, glory don't ask permission to show up. It just shows up in your space, and it's up to you. How do you receive it? That part is up to you. And let me continue. Because I said I could get them out 1 o'clock. That's what I said. That was my human flesh, right? So let me continue. Look. Watch this. It's the glory cloud, boy. It's the glory cloud. So look. Let's look to where glory arrives. You know, one would think that God's glory would show up in a glorious place. Yet God's glory shows up in a place that is a common place, a place available to all. You see, because God sent his son for the whole world, his son had to arrive in a place that was available to the rich and the poor. Listen to this. The manger, I thought that was so beautiful. The manger is available to the rich. After all, although there was no room for them in the inn, the manger was earned by the innkeeper. Therefore, the manger had links or connection to the rich. Then the manger was available to the poor. It was the leftover place. It was the place where animals were taken care of. It was the place of warmth and the feeding for animals. You ever felt that you were lower than this person, lower than that person, or that? See, that's why people don't want people to come into the church, because in the church you're going to find out ain't no such thing as being low. The glory of God is available to all. Huh? There's no prerequisite except that you accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and personal Savior. After that, the glory is on. Huh? After that, every time you gather, you have the ability to receive from the glory. That's the attitude you come with. Perhaps some need to understand that you are more than an animal. And if God saw fit to rest his glory amongst animal stuff, then God will appear to you in spite of your stuff. What? Is anything too hard for God? Do you think that you could be going through something and God not know about it and give you a way of escape? The Bible tells us that the baby, watch this how I say it now, the baby, the glory, was swaddled. The glory was swaddled, wrapped in swaddling clothes. It was swaddled. You know, I ain't got no baby here. Just swaddled. Let's talk about the swaddling. Swaddling comes from the word spargano. Spargano means to wrap in swaddling clothes. But why does the Bible point to this twice? You find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes. Swaddling provides warmth and security. That's why we call them sometimes a security blanket. Yeah? Old school. I know what these 20 millennials do. Have mercy. Anyway, security. Warmth and security. Huh? Swaddling. Now this is it, people. Woo-wee. Swaddling helps the baby transition from the warmth and security of the womb to the outside place. Lord have mercy. I'm going to help somebody right here. Might I say that after 400 years of silence in the womb of the old covenant, the transition to the outside world of the new covenant, the covenant of grace, required that glory be swaddled. I'm going to say something here. I'm going to be probably controversial right here. Why stop now? I'm going to tell you this, that from my youth and understanding now that the reason that many people were attracted to the Pentecostal church because they felt the warmth and security. They felt the care. When we got together, it was like family. You were leaving your home to meet your family. It's a feeling. And the reason churches are not as full is because we've become more like the world. So why they got to leave the world to come into the world and not have family? They should mandate. They should come into the house of God, feel warmth and security. Every time I come in, I stop and I speak to the children. Have a little couple of words, few words. All right, maybe more than a few words with his children. Because children know about how they receive me gives me a forecast of who I am. Because they're closer to being swaddled than you and I were. Ain't nobody wrapping you in no blanket. But they were closer to being babies, you see. So this is a challenge to the church. Can people come in and feel warmth and swaddled? Come on now. You know you have to practice how to fold those blankets. You do know that. Your fresh baby, you're a mess. And it takes a little while. No, you got to fold this, you got to fold this, got to tuck to the tuck. If you leave it to the father, it's a mess. Some fathers. So there's a, watch this, Dan. So there's a particular wrapping. The gift is wrapped. There's a swaddling. There's a warmth that must emanate from the people of God. Yeah. And so this is what happens with baby Jesus. Transitioning you from the old covenant to the warmth of the new covenant. Security, Lord have mercy. I'm not preaching that today. I'm gonna stay on Christmas, but that's security blanket. See, the moment, hear me, the moment you I've been saying it, and now I have even more proof. The moment that you transition from the Old Testament, you start talking about Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the rest of it, you have just transitioned into the warmth of grace, the warmth of the new covenant, the security. Moses ain't no security in no Moses. Let me finish. Point number 2. After glory arrives. After glory arrives. 13 and 14. This is what happens, y'all. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards man." Listen, when glory shows up, Shekinah Worship Center, there is praise and worship. Yo! I think I'm going to be controversial again. I can't go in a church and be silent. I can't go in a church and there's no praise and worship. And I go in and I'm out in 55 minutes. What glory? No. Don't pay attention to Pastor Maria Seaman. Pay attention to the Bible. When glory arrived, there was a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest." Let me help you out here. Listen, whenever one transitions from the womb to the room, there ought to be praise and worship. Listen, when you push that baby out, there's a worship moment. People don't even go to church and thank God. Huh? I'm surprised people haven't received the baptism of the Holy Ghost. Yeah. When you transition from your work week to become a worshiper, there ought to be praise. There ought to be praise and worship. You cannot praise God on your job the way that you can praise. What if you can listen. If you can praise God and jump and dance and speak in tongues on your job, I want you to invite me to experience it with you. But I'm here to tell you, that's why it's so important to gather together. Because in this place of unity, in this place of security, in this place of warmth, that God's people can gather together and can worship God in spirit and in truth, can lift up their voice, can praise God, can worship God, can give a hallelujah, can give a thank you, Jesus, can do the holy dance in this place, in this place, in this place. No other place like this place. No place. That's why I say of Shekinah, no place finer. I should add something to it. No place finer, no place shiner. Meaning shinier, but China. It's got to rhyme. That's why when I see girl a little dull, we're going to buff her up. We're going to shine her up. I know it's in here. Why? Because the spirit flows from the leader. Oh, yes, it does. Let me go here. When you transition out of the womb of sins to the room of being a saint, there ought to be praise and worship. You ought to, all work week, you heard them cuss, fight, talk about each other, do everything but what a child of God would do. You heard all that. So when you get in the house of God, there better not be nobody fussing here, cussing here, fighting here. No, because this is the place where his glory dwells. And so glory cannot show up and you remain the same. What else shows up when glory arrives? Peace and goodwill. So if you're a Christian and you're not peaceful, go back, get the glory. Go back, get some more glory. Go find the glory. I remind you that the glory is the presence of God. God has goodwill towards mankind. He sent his son of love to us. That's goodwill. Point number 3. That's right, short point. Point number 3, because glory arrived. 15. And it came to pass as the angels were going away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, let us now go even unto Bethlehem and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. When you know that glory has arrived, you become a seeker of the glory. Read the text, read the text, read the text. How can Testament is like he brought me out of darkness into his marvelous light. I think you become a seeker. You can't testify like that in next week, y'all. I'm like, what glory are you talking about? Huh? Mm-hmm. You become a seeker. Listen to this. John 4:21 through 24. Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither worship in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But The hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers, so you Jews say, well, you Jews ain't the true worshipers anyway. When the true worshipers, the Jews were not looking for salvation. They were completing their law. They were doing the works. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. You see, once Jesus, the glory, arrived, it was no longer about a place. She experienced it. Just talking to glory. Hamanoshe. All of her faults, all her past sins. But now she's talking to glory. And glory tells her, you got to do it different. Where I've taken you to, where I brought you from, you can't do it the way that you used to do it. I know what you've come from. I know what you've learned. But I'm going to tell you what, all I'm looking for, all the Spirit of God is looking for is those that are seeking. Just have an attitude of worship. Huh? May not be the best singer, best dancer, best clapper. You know, I question sometimes some people, what skin color of their, you know, what's the turn? But guess what? In heaven's ears, oh, you sound beautiful. You look beautiful. Why? Because it's about, he never said worship me in tune. Oh, somebody's going to get that. Oh, huh? He said worship me in spirit. I love me my bishop, Bishop Jacqueline E. McCullough. I love my bishop. Lord have mercy. Every week she testifies this. Ain't about a tune. Ow. But I love to hear her sing, you know, because she means it. Shamano. She'll never make a praise team. But she can sing better than, what? And she picks up songs and what? Because she's worshiping God in spirit and in truth. That's what connects the moment to the glory of God. Huh? We can practice as much as we want, but if we miss the glory cloud, when the glory enters the building, then we have missed our moment to transition from professional Judah to praise and worshiping Hebron. So glory arrived. God, Jesus had to tell her, forget what you've known. I'm taking you to the next level. And so once the glory arrived, it was no longer about a place. It was about a people who were willing to be the place. Are you? See, look. Let me ask you a question. This is just for the pastor, an explanation. Have I ever missed a Sunday preaching in 12 years? I'm talking about if I'm on the island. Obviously, I can't preach if I'm in Africa. So, right. Have I ever missed a Sunday? No. Because I condition myself. Don't I do that out of here? I've got a cold, cough, whatever. I said, oh, you're here, you're visiting? Well, you got an expiration date. Because there's something that's going to go on Sunday. And I will be at the glory place. And since God gave me this message, I will deliver what the glory has given. See? That's a miracle, sign, and a wonder. No. See, you all want people climbing and walking out of wheelchairs. I just want to see people walking into church. Hey! And so it's about where God's glory is. Listen to this. It is not about a palace or a pauper's place, residence. It is not about your wealth or your lack of wealth. Well, I ain't feeling it this week, Pastor. I had a rough week. That's when you're supposed to come in church and commend it even more. Like, how dare you try to hinder my moment in corporate worship? How dare you try to slow down my praise and worship? How dare you? I will show you I have dominion over you. What? Lift up your heads, O ye gates? What? I'm still singing that when we did that solo, when we did the duet. You know, we were on point. I'm telling you that right there. Lift up your heads, O ye gates. Oh, ye gates, and be ye lifted. All I see is triumph. All I see is a mighty conquering army. And the King of Glory. Then we went like this. Come on, come on, nobody else singing, nobody else. Nobody else singing. What we did? And the King of Glory. You got on, you on.
Yeah.
And the King of Glory.
My Lord.
And the King of Glory.
My Lord.
And like Captain Antonio, we were just singing.
Shall
come in. Lift up your heads.
Oh, ye gates,
Oh, ye gates,
and be ye lifted up, the everlasting door, and the King of Glory, my Lord,
and the King of Glory,
my Lord.
That's it. Put your wipes right there.
Shall come in.
But I'm trying to encourage the body of Christ today. Why is it your pastor is always on point? Huh? Oh, because no matter, well, I remember one time, Holy Ghost is so real. Thank you, Holy Ghost, for reminding me. I didn't know about this. I had gone through a miscarriage. And I was sleeping. And I had my chin down, sleeping. And I just was sad in my sleep. And God spoke to me in my left ear while I was sleeping. And he asked me, says, what position is your head in? And then I responded, it's down. And he said, lift up your heads. Shamono say, I know you've gone through a loss. I know your dreams have been shattered. I know you're wondering if you will ever have a child. Hear me. But he said, you are responsible to lift up your heads and show forth the glory of God is not contingent upon what you go through. The glory of God is real, whether you're going through mourning or a time of celebration. And I woke up and I had to snap out of it. That wasn't the first miscarriage. It was the second one or third one. That was another dark time. And the first time you told me that darkness comes upon you. Listen, depression is real, but it better not stay around. Somebody, my mama says, Maria, open those windows. Let the light in. What do you think she was saying? She said, you've had your figurative 400 years of darkness. Now it's time to let the glory gotta come in. And then I went to a tent meeting around Frog Lane. He's having around there. And the song that they were singing as I walked in was, Jesus, you're the center of my joy. All that's good and perfect. And then he allows me to deliver a baby on the perfect day. 777. He's done too much. Yeah, we've been through as a family. Yeah. Been through hell and high water. But you can't take away my 777. You can't take away what God did for me. And I'm holding on until I see things completed as God showed it to me. I need to encourage somebody, that God is telling you to hold on for the glory. Hold on for the glory. Hold on for the end of your story. God is not finished with you yet. As long as you have life, the glory will show up. I'm telling you. The glory steps in. Thank you. Take your seat. So it's not about your position or disposition. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some of us think because we're going through, so now we have a right to sit on God. Show me that verse. It's all about being a true worshiper of the glory of God. When the glory arrives, follow the scripture. When the glory arrives, you must make your way to Bethlehem. When the glory arrives, don't stay where you were. Go to Bethlehem, the house of bread. Fresh bread. House of bread. In the Bible, bread is a gift from God. Bethlehem. It was a divine gift, a gift of generosity and sharing. You know, your mom, if she makes fresh bread, you may want to have it all, but you know you can't eat the whole loaf. You got to share it. Remember when Moses led the people of Israel through the wilderness and they cried out for food? God gave them bread from heaven. In Christianity, bread is one of the most powerful symbols. It's found in the Lord's Prayer. Give us this day not our weekly. Give us this week our weekly bread. No, every day, God has his bread available to you. In each of the synoptic gospels and Luke is a recording of the miracle of feeding a multitude with bread. All of them. Jesus is the glory bread. Every house needs this bread. Verse 20, and the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things that they had heard and seen as it was told unto them. Once the shepherd found the bread, once they found the glory, they went back home as worshipers. Church, you cannot have an intimate relation. You cannot have an intimate relationship with God's glory, with Jesus, and not be a worshiper. For when you taste, you testify. Come on. Anytime you get good, warm bread, don't even need the bottle with it. Look at you. Some of you almost went in tongues just right there. Huh? Don't need no bottle with it or anything. All of a sudden, it's like you hear the angel. Oh. You know, then don't talk about if you put the little bottle on it, the peanut butter, and then have a little warm little something with it, like maybe vanilla, French vanilla, you know, tea or coffee, whatever. You know, let me stop there. I'm ready to go home right now. All right? But it's something about the bread. The freshness of the bread, the availability of bread. Bread, watch this now. I think you really goes, cheekums. Bread that everybody can have. Wait. Because the glory bread is in a manger in Bethlehem. The glory bread, this glory bread weren't going to be put in down miles. Not down miles. You know the grocery store miles. Some of you know it, and most of you wouldn't. Miles. I went down miles. Can I tell you a story? 30 seconds. I went down miles because once in a while I like to walk in the wealth of my wealth. And I was down there getting some particular. I said, well, you know, I got to get a piece of salmon anyway. Must have get a piece of salmon. So I asked the guy, I said, well, how much is salmon? He said $28.99 a pound. I said, I think I can do better. I went up Linda's, $17.99. Got Linda's. Bought it for number one. Right? So here's my thing. The bread that is available from heaven is available to everyone. Watch this. The ingredients you can purchase at any store. Maybe start doing that again. Huh? Glory, whoosha. You can go around Balvin's, Arnold's. Come on, what you need for bread? Flour? Come on. Oh, Lord. Yeast, egg, water. I put a little sugar in. Every store. I'm going to break every store. I'm getting Bermudian on you. Every store's got that. Every store. Huh? Why? Because you need to know that it is available to you. And every true worshiper, every true house of God has bread available for you to feed on. That's why it's in look, I learned this in Africa. He's like, no, been on trips with me. One thing they got in the house, bread and coffee cakes and things like that. And listen. You all want to go back to Africa? Let me help you out. You can't go in the house and not partake. It's an insult. Shamanose. It's an insult not to partake of their food. Come on up in here, huh? Huh? In the same way, when Jesus is in the house, the glory bread is in the house. It is an insult not to partake of the bread. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. For when you taste, you testify. Huh? We've stopped testifying about the bread. We've stopped testifying about his goodness. We've stopped testifying about his healing. We've stopped testifying about the wonder of who he is. So when the church stops feeding, how we want the world to know who he is? For when you taste, you testify. When you taste of the goodness of the glory of God, you tell about it. You testify and make it known far and wide that a child was born and brought heavenly glory to earth, so that mankind could experience a little bit of heaven on earth. Let me help you out. If you're going through stuff, since the glory is available to you, partake of the glory. It'll help you get through the stuff. The devil is totally, he checks in at a special place when he sees a worshiper he knows going through stuff. He tried to stop him. Go, okay, Maria. How many times this year did the devil try to stop your praise? How many times did he try to stop your worship? Make you reside in a dark place? That was his plan. But the glory showed up. The glory. And listen. Oh, thank you. Since the glory shows up at bread, watch this. It's up to you how much glory you eat. Hi, up to you. What? Feed me till I want. Oh, yeah. I had a meal this week. And I said, Maria, you sinned. Because I enjoyed it so much that I ate it all. Usually I save some of it for later in a couple of hours. But I kept on eating it. And I was at the computer, I'm working, right? But in 10 minutes, my stomach was hurting me. I said, because you overate. You have to make a little visit, you know what I'm saying? Hey. So in my head, because the way I picture things, I say, see, all that goodness went in, and now it's all going out because she ate too much. Ow! But here's the good thing, ladies and gentlemen of the household of faith, that you can partake. You can eat as much glory bread from heaven, as much praise and worship as you want, and enjoy it to the max. Your stomach won't hurt you. Your hair won't hurt you. You won't have to go to the little girl's room. You'll be free indeed. Why? Because you've tasted and seen that the Lord is good. So I end with this song here. Listen, glory bread. I'm tempted, but I'm trying to save it just for somebody. Because what I really want to do is rip this thing open. I do. But I'm going to control myself today. $6.50. I'm going to leave somebody alone with that. All right? But in your imagination, though, just know, I should have bought this bread myself. I'll be ripping it to shreds, to pieces right now, throwing it all over the place. And then whoever has to vacuum off a church, that's their business. But that's what would be happening. It wouldn't bother me a bit. It wouldn't, matter of fact, it ain't my phone. You think it doesn't bother me? Just bread, glory bread. Glory. Can you imagine? That's just like Cookie Monster. Just like Cookie Monster. Bread, living bread from heaven. Bread. See, more than enough wood. More. That's the word of God. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. It's glorious. Glory bread. More than enough. Try to tell me. That's how I feel about glory. Shamana seketa. Trying to be tidy for nobody.
For a copy of this sermon in its entirety, please email me, swim@logic.bm. Blessings abound.